The U.S. military mission in Afghanistan will officially conclude on August 31st. President Biden moved up the deadline today from September 11th, and he defended the pullout in the face of Taliban gains. The president said the U.S. did not go to Afghanistan to nation build, and he pressed Afghan leaders to prove their mettle.
They clearly have the capacity to sustain the government in place. The question is, will they generate the kind of cohesion to do it? It's not a question of whether they have the capacity. They have the capacity. They have the forces. They have the equipment.
In Afghanistan, government forces said they drove Taliban fighters from a provincial capital in the north. Other reports said the militants have now seized a key border crossing with Iran. In Haiti, officials reported that police have arrested 2 Haitian Americans in the assassination of President Jovenel Moise. 2 of the alleged assailants were turned over to authorities by a crowd in Port-au-Prince today. In all, 6 have been arrested and 4 were killed after a gunfight with police. COVID-19 has now killed more than 4 million people worldwide. That is based on official numbers compiled by the Johns Hopkins University. The true count is believed to be even higher. In the U.S., public health leaders said today that most new deaths and infections are occurring where vaccination rates are low. We'll return to this after the news summary. Organizers of the Summer Olympics today banned Japanese fans from the upcoming Tokyo Games in the face of surging COVID infections. Foreign fans were already banned. The new announcement came as the government declared an emergency in Tokyo, lasting through the Olympics. The head of the Japanese Olympic Committee acknowledged the event will not be the same.
The Tokyo Games were supposed to be a rare opportunity to feel the power of sports through the packed stadiums and united communities. However, it now must be held in a very limited way. I am very sorry for the fans and the local people.
The Games are set to start in 2 weeks. We'll discuss all of this later in the program. Today marked 2 weeks since a condominium tower collapsed in Surfside, Florida, and the death toll has now reached 64. Another 76 people are still missing. On Wednesday evening, emergency workers held a moment of silence as they transitioned from rescue to recovery. Tropical storm Elsa is moving up the U.S. East Coast tonight and regaining some strength. Storm warnings extend into New Jersey and New York and as far north as Massachusetts. The system already killed 1 person in Jacksonville, Florida. It also spawned an apparent tornado that injured at least 10 people in Georgia. California called today for voluntary water conservation as drought grips more of the state. Residents are being asked to cut their water usage by 15%. Some of the state's reservoirs are already at dangerously low levels, with the summer just begun. 15 states today endorsed a settlement with Purdue Pharma over the opioids epidemic. The maker of OxyContin and its owners, the Sackler family, will release millions of documents and accelerate compensation to the states. Massachusetts Attorney General Maura Healey praised the new terms to let the company emerge from bankruptcy.
Today's resolution delivers the most important things we've been fighting for: a reckoning that exposes the Sacklers' misconduct, strips them of their power, and provides money that will be dedicated entirely to prevention, treatment, and recovery.
10 other states have rejected the settlement. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration reversed itself today on a new drug for the memory-destroying disease Alzheimer's. It had initially approved broad use of Aduhelm. Now the Biogen drug will be limited to patients with mild cognitive impairment or mild dementia. The European Union has fined German automakers $1 billion for blocking emissions controls that might help address climate change. The companies are BMW and Volkswagen, plus VW's Audi and Porsche divisions. EU investigators say they kept improved pollution technology off the market. California lawyer Michael Avenatti, who once sued President Trump, was sentenced today to 30 months in prison. He had tried to extort millions of dollars from Nike. Avenatti previously represented porn star Stormy Daniels in her legal fight with Mr. Trump. And on Wall Street, stocks retreated after jobless claims rose slightly and investors turned to bonds over stocks. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost nearly 260 points to close below 34,422. The Nasdaq fell 105 points. The S&P 500 slipped 37. Still to come on the NewsHour, how the Surfside collapse raises concerns about future investments in other buildings. Texas Republicans continue their push for restrictive new voting laws. Boomers respond to millennial complaints about the world they created, plus much more.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.